It stirs again. A phantom limb of glory, stretching across continents, touching everything it desires. There are places where the air itself thickens, where the whispers are not wind, but echoes of an ancient, insatiable hunger. Wembley, usually a temple of dreams, felt like an altar on that fateful night. Borussia Dortmund, a vibrant surge of yellow, pulsed with audacious hope. They had navigated treacherous currents, defied the odds, clawing their way to the precipice of immortality, a journey marked by raw passion and unwavering belief. But waiting there, in the deepening twilight, was something far older, far more complete. A presence that didn't just play the game but seemed to own its very essence, its very soul. The air, thick with anticipation, carried a metallic tang, not of sweat, but of an impending offering, a ritual that had played out countless times before. Every pass Dortmund completed, every tackle won, felt less like progress and more like a desperate, fleeting warding charm against an encroaching dread that tightened its grip with each passing minute. You could almost hear the low, guttural growl beneath the stadium's roar, the sound of an entity waking, stretching its ancient muscles, ready to consume another hopeful challenger in its relentless pursuit of an eternal, unmatched dominion. The floodlights cast long, dancing shadows, transforming familiar faces into fleeting specters, participants in a drama whose ending felt preordained by forces beyond human comprehension. Their ambition, so palpable and fierce, was slowly being absorbed into the chilling, unwavering calm of their adversary, a psychological war fought not just on the pitch, but in the very consciousness of the occasion itself. Every cheer from the yellow wall felt increasingly hollow, a defiant echo against a deafening silence emanating from the opposing half. For years, sports analysts have dissected it, coaches have strategized against it, and fans have either revered or cursed it, trying to unravel the mystery of their unyielding success. But the truth is simpler, yet far more unsettling. Real Madrid doesn't just compete in the Champions League, they are the Champions League. It's an extension of their very being, a living, breathing testament to an almost supernatural dominion over this particular competition, a bond forged in an unshakable, dark history. The trophy, for them, isn't a prize to be won, but a relic to be reclaimed, an artifact that always finds its way back to its rightful, and seemingly inevitable, resting place. There's a chilling consistency to their narrative, a pattern that suggests something beyond mere human endeavor, a thread of destiny woven into the very fabric of the tournament itself. Other teams rise and fall, cycles of dominance give way to rebuilding, but Real Madrid persists, an unmoving monolith in the ever-shifting sands of footballing power. It's as if an unseen hand guides them, adjusting the variables, aligning the stars, ensuring their inevitable ascent to the summit, time and time again, with a cold, dispassionate precision. This isn't just football, it's an edict from the abyss of sporting history, a testament to a pact made long ago. Consider this, long before the modern era, in the nascent years of the competition, only one club managed to win 5 consecutive European Cups, a feat that felt more like a decree from an ancient deity than a mere sporting achievement, establishing their primal, unbreakable connection to this hallowed ground. The echoes of those early triumphs still reverberate, a constant hum beneath the surface of every subsequent victory, an energy that feeds their ceaseless hunger. Dortmund came out like a storm, a whirlwind of youthful exuberance and tactical sharpness, attempting to overwhelm their venerable opponent. They pressed, they ran, they created chances with a ferocious intensity that would have crumbled lesser teams. Adeyemi, Füllkrug, Brandt, each had moments where the net seemed to beckon, where the narrative felt poised for an upset, a glorious deviation from the script. But then, it happened. The subtle shift. The almost imperceptible tightening of a hidden noose that began to constrict Dortmund's vibrant energy. Real Madrid, in their chilling wisdom, allowed the storm to rage, understanding its finite nature, its limited fury. They don't panic, they observe. They don't react frantically, they respond with the cold precision of a predator patiently sizing up its prey, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. The first half, a barrage of yellow and black, slowly dissipated into a lingering anxiety, a growing sense of unease within the Dortmund ranks. Real Madrid didn't seem to be playing well in a conventional sense, but they were playing right, perfectly aligning with an unspoken rhythm of the game. Every misplaced pass by Dortmund, every overhit cross, felt like a silent incantation, a part of a larger, preordained ritual that slowly drained their opponent's strength. Their control wasn't about conventional possession, it was about managing the very tempo of fate, dictating the flow of the game with an unseen hand. They absorb pressure, not through frantic defense, but through a calm, almost meditative presence that systematically drains the opposition's will, leaving them exhausted and bewildered. Consider the chilling repetition: a late, seemingly impossible goal, a deflected shot, an opponent's critical error. It's not luck, it's a signature, a ritualistic offering in their unholy shrine, a final, suffocating embrace that ensures their eternal claim. Then, the second half began, and the mask slipped, revealing the true face of the entity. The patient observer transformed into the ruthless executioner, ready to deliver the preordained blow. A corner. Not just any corner, but their corner, a moment that felt less like a chance encounter and more like a carefully planned ambush. Toni Kroos, the silent architect, the puppet master, curled in a delivery that seemed less like a kick and more like a command, a precise instruction to destiny itself. And there, ascending from the chaos, was Dani Carvajal, a figure often overshadowed, yet in that moment, he was the chosen one, the instrument of the first prophecy fulfilled. His header, a bullet fired with grim intent, found the back of the net with an almost horrifying certainty. The roar wasn't one of surprise, but of grim, inevitable acceptance, a sound that carried the weight of countless past defeats on this very stage. It was the first wound, deep and psychological, severing the last fragile threads of Dortmund's belief. Their earlier ferocity turned into a desperate, frantic scramble, their movements becoming increasingly uncoordinated under the crushing weight of impending doom. They pushed, they tried, but every effort felt like pushing against an invisible, insurmountable wall, their energy dissipating into the ether. The game was no longer a contest, it was an exorcism, with Dortmund's hopes slowly being expelled from the hallowed ground. And just as the last vestiges of hope threatened to flicker back into life, the final, clinical blow was struck, a coup de grace delivered with chilling efficiency. Bellingham, Modric, Vinicius Jr., a sequence of predatory movements, each touch a step closer to the inevitable. Vinicius, the spectral runner, ghosting past defenders with an otherworldly speed, slotting the ball with the cold, unfeeling precision of a machine programmed for conquest. The second goal wasn't just a nail in the coffin, it was the final turning of the key, locking Dortmund into a fate they had fought so bravely to avoid, their valiant efforts rendered futile. The scoreline, 2-0, belied the suffocating dominance, the psychological warfare waged by an entity that understands the very fabric of winning on this sacred stage. And at the helm, the high priest, Carlo Ancelotti. His calm demeanor, his almost stoic presence on the touchline, is not mere composure but the profound serenity of one who knows the ancient code, who understands the prophecies etched into the very stones of this competition. He orchestrates the symphony of dread, pulling strings unseen, guiding his apostles through the predetermined path with an unnerving confidence. Indeed, Carlo Ancelotti, a man who has now overseen more Champions League finals than any other manager, often appears less like a coach and more like a high priest presiding over a preordained ceremony, his knowledge of the ritual absolute, his every decision reflecting a timeless wisdom. Then there are the veterans, Kroos, Modric, Nacho, keepers of the flame, silent guardians of a terrifying legacy. Their movements are economical, their decisions flawless, each action a testament to countless battles fought and won. They don't just play football, they transmit the collective memory of countless past victories, a chillingly effective form of psychological warfare that erodes the opposition's will. Their very presence drains hope from their adversaries, a silent, chilling assurance that resistance is ultimately futile against such an ancient force. Real Madrid has now won their last 9 Champions League finals, a chilling statistical anomaly that defies all probabilistic understanding in modern football, cementing their status as something beyond mere athletic excellence, a force of nature itself. Each victory adds another layer to their impenetrable aura, another chapter to their horrifyingly consistent saga, further solidifying their grip on the most coveted prize in European club football. They are not merely players, they are the living embodiment of a relentless, unyielding spirit that has mastered the art of conquest. But what if this terror, this suffocating dread, isn't malevolent at all? What if the horror we perceive is simply the raw, unfiltered manifestation of absolute perfection, a pursuit so relentless it warps reality around it? The whispers aren't curses, they are the murmurs of unparalleled discipline, the collective consciousness of 1,000 focused minds. The unseen hand isn't manipulating fate, it's merely the culmination of 1,000 precise movements, 1,000,000 hours of training, a collective will forged in the fires of ambition, honed to an impossible edge. The Unholy Pact isn't with some dark entity from another dimension, but with an unyielding commitment to excellence, a relentless dedication to mastering every facet of the game. Their control isn't mystical, it's the mastery of strategy, timing, and nerve under the most immense pressure, a quiet command over the chaotic ebb and flow of a high-stakes encounter. Their clinical finishing isn't a dark art, it's the relentless pursuit of precision, the calm in the storm, the ability to strike with lethal accuracy when it truly matters most, a skill perfected through years of tireless effort. The ghosts haunting Wembley weren't specters of doom for Dortmund, but the eternal echoes of Real Madrid's own relentless self-belief, a powerful psychological presence that fills every corner of the stadium. It's not magic, it's an institutionalized hunger, passed down through generations of players and management, a cultural phenomenon built on an insatiable desire for victory. A hunger so profound, so embedded in the club's DNA, that it feels otherworldly, almost supernatural in its unwavering intensity. This terror is simply the profound awe inspired by seeing human potential stretched to its absolute limit, a team that has learned to bend the very will of the competition to its own desires through sheer, unadulterated excellence. As the final whistle shrieked, a piercing sound slicing through the collective gasp of millions, the true terror wasn't defeat for Dortmund, but the dawning realization that the entity known as Real Madrid hadn't won another trophy. It had merely reclaimed what was eternally, irrevocably, its own, a predetermined outcome woven into the fabric of time. The game wasn't against them, it was for them, a stage set for their inevitable triumph. And in that terrifying, beautiful truth, a strange, undeniable smile began to form, a smile born not of fear, but of profound, unsettling admiration for such a relentless, almost inhuman level of achievement. It was the smile of understanding, of recognizing that this wasn't mere football, but a masterclass in psychological dominion, the systematic dismantling of hope, executed with such chilling efficiency that it transcends sport, becoming a spectacle of pure, unadulterated willpower. And in that transcendent moment, the horror transforms. It becomes awe. It becomes respect. It becomes a testament to the highest echelons of human achievement, wrapped in a shroud of the uncanny, a legacy so vast it casts long, indelible shadows. The champions, adorned in white, lifted the trophy once more. Not with raw, unbridled triumph, but with a quiet, knowing inevitability, as if merely performing a familiar, deeply ingrained ceremony. Their faces, usually etched with the raw emotion of victory, bore a look of solemn satisfaction, as if they had simply fulfilled an ancient prophecy, a task completed with meticulous perfection. And as they paraded their prize, the shadows they cast were no longer foreboding, but illuminated with the unblemished glow of a legacy truly unmatched, truly immortal, shining with an eerie, beautiful light. The shadows they cast are not of fear, but of an enduring light, illuminating a path to a legendary smile.